Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for Fresno State Small Business University's presentation on this wonderful Friday, and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. My name is Brian Salcedo, and I am a project assistant with the Fresno State Small Business University, where we help people start businesses, or if they already have a business, we help them expand their business. I will be your producer for the show, and I also would like to introduce to you our host for this webinar, who is also a project assistant, Richie Savangliacom.
Good morning and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Month. Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, everyone. That's a long word. It's a pleasure being here with you all today. My name is Richie Savangliacom, and as Brian mentioned, I am one of the project assistants here, as well as your host for this webinar. We are so thrilled to have you join us today, and I can't wait to introduce you to our guests as they will share their story on how to open the catering business. But before we go into our presentation, a little bit about Fresno State Small Business University. One of the things we do here is community outreach. We offer a variety of services from financial management, business planning, marketing, and so forth, as you can see in the next screen. Go ahead and change to the next slide, Brian. So yes, these are one of the services that we're offering, and we'll give you guys a moment to take a look at that before we move on to our next slides. We want to take a moment to thank our sponsors for sponsoring our webinar, and they include the Laotian American Community of Fresno, also known as LACF, the Fresno Center, Enusan Gilchai with Cal Valley Insurance Services, Make Her Mark, Blue Tech Valley, the Pie Shop, UC Berkeley Law, and Central Valley Women's Entrepreneurship Center. We thank you all for supporting us in the creation of this webinar, and we're glad that you're here joining us today. And next slide. So before we go into today's topic on opening a food business, we want to give a little background on obtaining a business license. So whether you're a restaurant owner, clothing store owner, skate shop, barbershop, bakery, bar, etc., you need to obtain a business license first. And there are several steps to obtain a business license. So the first step is to name your California LLC. So choosing a name for your business is the first thing you need to do. And you want to make sure that the name is relevant to your business and it is searchable online. And remember to do the name search by going onto the California Secretary of State Business Search website at businesssearch.sos.ca.gov. And that, once again, is businesssearch.sos.ca.gov. And this is under the California Secretary of State Business Search, just like what you see on my screen here. However, you do need to follow California's Code of Regulations. So the LLC name must include the phrase Limited Liability Company or its abbreviations, LLC. You can also register your name with the county that you're in. So for example, if you're opening a business somewhere within Fresno County, let's say in cities like Sanger or Reedley, you would have to apply and register with the county of Fresno. Or if you're opening within city limits like say Fresno or Clovis, it's also the same process, the county of Fresno. All right, so step 2 is to obtain zone clearance. So you need to apply for zone clearance if you want to open your business as an LLC. For example, if you want to submit a zone clearance application in the city of Fresno, you can type in Fresno Faster on Google. So Faster is spelled F-A-A-S-T-E-R. So yes, that's F-A-A-S-T-E-R. So Fresno Faster on Google. After creating an account, you can choose the planning/land division button on the Faster website. Then you can search the address that your business is located in and fill out the application of zone clearance. Now, once zone clearance applications is approved, you can apply for a business license. All right, so step 3 is obtain a business license and business tax certificate. There are 2 processes which can be completed by mail and online, as you can see on my slide here. So if you're opening a business, let's say here in Fresno, you can print out and mail in an application. So to do that, you can Google search the business license application for your city. So for instance, if you're typing on Google, you can type in the city of Fresno business license, and it should give you, direct you to the city's website. You can download the required documents directly or fill out the application from there electronically. And as a reminder, you can also sign up for services with us, and we can provide the proper steps and links to do so. I believe Brian dropped a link tree into the chat box, so please feel free to check that out if you haven't already. All right, so the fourth step is to file the California LLC Articles of Organization. So filing the Articles of Organization with the Secretary of State is essential for registering your LLC. You have to decide if your LLC is member managed or manager managed before filing an LLC 1 form. And this is a document that states who's in charge of the day-to-day operations and who the owners are. Next step. The fifth step is to file the initial statement of information for your LLC. The document states who the business owners or officers are, the address of the business, and business description, excuse me. After submitting your LLC 1 forms, you need to file the initial statement of information, form LLC 12, within 90 days to the California Secretary of State. And this can also be completed by mail or online. It's also completed by person, but due to COVID restrictions, it's recommended that you complete the application process on mail, by mail and online, so which could change. So yes, complete your applications by mail and online. The sixth step is to create a California LLC operating agreement. So an operating agreement is a legal document outlining the ownership and operating procedures of an LLC. So here in California, you do not have to file that with the state, but as an internal document, you should keep that on file for future reference. So say if maybe the IRS needs information from you for whatever reason, it's recommended that you do keep that on file. All right, next step. So step 7 is to get an EIN for your California LLC, and an EIN stands for Employer Identification Number, which is a 9-digit number issued by the IRS. This is as significant for a company as a social security number for a person. You will need an EIN for opening your LLC, bank account, hiring employees, and so forth. And you can get an EIN directly from the IRS by mail or online and also in person. Alrighty, and the last step, step 8, is to obtain the food facility permit. So anyone who wants to sell or give away food or beverages, including samples, needs to open a facility food permit. And with this permit, you want to make sure that you're covered and have the right permits to sell items without facing penalties. So in other words, you don't want to sell something that, say food, for instance, that you don't want to give food poisoning to your customers, which you can be held liable and face consequences. But if you have a permit, then you're accountable for that. Yes. Alrighty, and those are the steps to obtaining an LLC. So if you have any questions on what we've discussed or have any clarifications, please feel free to contact us at any time by mail, by email, or by phone, or feel free to drop in some of your questions in the chat box below. All right, so it's the moment that we were waiting for. So as many of you may or may not know, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So in accordance of this occasion, today's webinar will be focused on one of the small businesses within the AAPI community right here in the Central Valley. And you guys are in for a treat because today's webinar will feature a cooking demonstration of some popular Laotian dishes, and everyone here can also purchase them. Yum. So our guest speakers are 2 incredible business partners who started as a small catering business that caters to birthday parties, dinner parties, funerals, weddings, or simply just to eat, featuring delicious, authentic Laotian cuisine from staples like sticky rice and beef jerky. They are the founders of Gin Gin Food right here in Fresno, California. And for our audiences out there, Gin Gin in the Lao language translates to eat, eat. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to the founders of Gin Gin, and Noi Huang Savat and Tracy Sengrat Kevido of Gin Gin Food.
Okay. All right. Can you guys see us?
Yes.
Okay. Hi guys, so I'm Tracy.
I'm Hanoi. Good morning.
Good morning. We are the owners of Getting Food, and today we're going to explain to you guys and talk to you guys about how to open up a catering business, how we got started, and all the fun works. You guys are going to hear from us today. Next slide. So here are the topics that we're going to be talking about today, about who we are, how to start a catering business, what was our first phase, how did we get started, who were our first customers, marketing tactics, our challenges such as going through the COVID, all the events that we have done, and some key takeaways. We'll do a question and answers. We'll answer any questions that you guys may have. And we're going to have a fun live cooking demonstration for you guys. So we started back in 2018. We're going to talk about our story about how. Yeah. So I know we've known each other for a very, very long time. Yeah, so he's basically like an older brother or an uncle to me, and we came about because. Do you want to talk about the story? What's the next one?
We can do whatever. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we came together because we both just love cooking food. We decided that we would come together and just kind of do this together. We felt like there was a need for for Lao food. So what we actually do is we specialize in Lao style beef jerky. We do a lot of catering and custom designed raising tables. So if you go on our page, you'll see everything is. It's never the same. It's all very custom. It depends on what the client's theme is. It depends on their food, like what kind of food they would like, and that's what Kitchen pretty much does. And I think ultimately our goal while we came together was we wanted to share our love of Lao food with everybody. We feel like it was Lao food for a long time was an underdog, and we just wanted to share that with everybody and the world about how good our food is. Yeah, there you go. So how do we start the catering? How do we come about? So believe it or not, Hanoi has started off by making his sing lot. Right, he just gathered all these different recipes from different.
Well, it first started off with a lot of frustrations and knowingly that part of our culture was being lost in this generations. I felt like a sense of responsibility almost to not only take my mom's recipe, my grandma's recipe, but also put our own little twist to it, using the latest modern technology for our jerky to make sure it's safe and it's clean, it's sanitized. Opposed to, some people just dry their beef out and whatever, you might get sick. So with that in mind, that was where the idea came from. Also, just the idea that the easiest and fastest way to spread the taste of our food was to be able to have it shippable or sealable that we could sell and market across the states. So beef jerky was definitely something that I grew up eating as a child, grew up eating, craving for it when I went away for college. So I was like, you know what, beef jerky, let's tap into grandma's and mom's beef jerky recipe and put my own little twist to it. Yeah. And funny story is Tracy was having a wedding and she reached out to me just before we were partners. She reached out to me and said, I need some food for the aftermath.
Yeah, when I started planning my wedding, I realized that there was a need. After thinking about it and planning, there was a need for Southeast Asian catering food. Yeah. It was really difficult to find someone that has their catering license and can cater for me. And so one of the things that I reached out to Hanoi, and I was like, after everyone's, because in the Lao culture, everyone drinks and, eat and drink and we have a good time, but I want them to sober up. I think that your beef jerky would be perfect. So I reached out to Hanoi.
And that's where getting kind of kindle our spark.
Right. And I had a lot of people asking, where'd you get that jerky from? And, it was really good. It was like the perfect snack after, a long night of dancing and drinking. It was just perfect. And so that's how After that, we kind of came together with this idea that there was a need. There was definitely a need here, especially in the Central Valley, and that's how we partnered up.
Excited.
Yeah.
So as we touched already on, we do weddings, baby showers, birthdays, dinner parties. We'll do your bachelorette party. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've done loud funerals. So pretty much any occasion, like you let us know. We'll like Tracy mentioned before, everything is customized. So we can make the menu tailored to your theme. We can make the decor tailored to your theme. We can make it super exquisite to let's go crazy and do something wild. I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah. I mean, it's no event for the most part. It's too big or too small. We've done where we've catered for 4 people, and then as much as
almost 4,000. Like almost,
yeah.
So
4,000 lunch boxes. Yeah.
So we have a team. I mean, it's us too, but we also have a dynamic team that works behind us for bigger events. So if you need us, we're here.
Right.
So marketing tactics. You want to start with this, or you want me to do it?
What?
Well, I think the most important thing about marketing tactics or social media, it's knowing who you are, knowing your audience, knowing who you're trying to reach, who are you talking to, and of course, for the most part, we start off with, well, you know what? We first were like, okay, well, beef jerky. Who would want these beef jerky? I mean, like besides loud people, because we love our beef jerky.
Right.
But what is it about that? What's so unique and special about our jerky is that it's actually a full, complete meal. You can eat it as a meal. It's not like one of those beef jerky where you just go and snack on. I mean, you can, I guess,
Right.
But our concept is that like this is for busy moms, busy dads, busy parents, whoever, it's a quick meal that we grew up like. Honestly, like when I came home from school, this is what grandma would whip up for me real fast with sticky rice.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wanted to make sure that part of the culture is not lost. At the same time, it's what we do.
Right. So one of the first things that we did was basically word of mouth. Our very, very first event together collaboratively was my birthday party. That's when we did the whole grazing table, all the different other food, and then that's where it stems from. Like us taking those pictures.
It was like a million years ago.
So we had this little decor concept with all this like different kinds of foods, and we had posted it on social media, and then everyone was just in awe, like, wait, so what is this? Like, what is this you guys are doing? And people love it. People love to eat, and people like to eat pretty food. Like if it looks really good, they're all for it. It's a good picture, they're all for it. And that's how it just kind of sparked and stemmed from. So we had another person just like, I work really busy. Oh, my older sister, Julie.
Yeah.
So she was our next client. And so she comes and she's like, I'm going to be so busy. And I want you guys to set up like a food thing for just 20 people. And I want to hire you guys.
Well, in summary, I mean, we've been cooking and hosting parties forever, both of us individually. But the weird thing is that like, this is the first time that we did it together. But at the same time, I think it kind of happened organically how we started catering, to be honest, because we really didn't set our mind to be caterers at first. We were like, okay, let's.
How can we get our beef jerky out there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because we love cooking so much, and we love reinventing or repurposing an idea that we've already loved growing up and repackaging it to a different system of sort. That's where really our catering business
kind of started.
Yeah.
And so from there,
organically, I guess you could say.
Or there, we decided that we needed to find center of influences by doing a collaboration with them. Some of the people.
Someone actually reached out to us, which was nice. It's to get that support from other, not just Laotian, but other foundations as well, but mainly Laotian. So it's something that we definitely appreciate, and we always try to reach out and do the same for others. Like for instance, Lao Supplies. You can find them on Instagram as well.
He does a really good job of reaching out to the Lao community and collaborating with a lot of different people. House of XTF
was one of our big I guess, one of our big.
social media influencer that we reached out to, and she was more than happy to collaborate with us. She looked at our social media and just loved what we did, what we were about. And together we have a YouTube video that you can go on there and search for.
And I think also that goes back to the whole marketing thing. Like Tracy was saying earlier about how Lao food is pretty much understated, undershadowed by a lot. And so that's what we kind of feel like our sense of purpose is to, in part of our marketing tactics, is not to only showcase Lao food, but showcase Lao food in the most beautiful and most attractive way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because for so long, I mean, we're a third world country that's kind of not, that's never been given that opportunity. So I feel like that is kind of one of our main goals is in showcasing Lao food is to also make it as beautiful as possible.
Right.
Because it tastes amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a given. It's just not.
And we find that a lot of Lao food has been shadowed by Thai food. People confuse the two, and we want.
And we both love Thai food.
Nothing against Thai food. I love Thai food, but
and it does
separate ourselves because we are two different countries, two different
origins.
Mm-hmm. ALEC and LACF, they're awesome. We love working with them. They hire us all the time to do their lunch boxes for the high school students. We do local fundraisers. So for example, when there was a flood in Laos, we were a part of that fundraising, part of a portion or
collaboration of that. We did
like jerky sales, like a portion of that went towards fundraising. Teaming up with vendors. We teamed up with wedding planners, bartenders, and photographers together. Just we find that when we work so well together, it's just easier that way when we know the steps that we are all taking to work together. So we've teamed up with a few vendors where they refer us and we refer them. If someone reaches out to us and they're like, we don't know any bartenders, we'll refer them to the specific bartender that always refers us back and forth. Just really supporting each other. And I think that's what another marketing tactic that's been very helpful. Just we support.
Shout out to Lincoln Bar in Fresno.
All productions. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Our next goal for our marketing tactic is to get into the farmers market and be able to do to sell our beef jerky there, and then also be able to actually deep fry. A lot of beef jerkies is different from other beef jerkies that you flash fry it. And so we want to be able to flash fry it for our customers because we just feel like the farmers market is just so diversified. And so we are very excited about that, to flash fry beef jerky for them, pair it with some sticky rice and some hot sauce, what we call jail. And we're excited. So and hopefully once we get everything, all ducks in a row, we're just waiting for the state that you'll start to see us there.
Which pretty much goes into our next slide, probably our challenges, right?
The next one. Yeah. So these are just some of the past events that we've done. I feel like it can go on and on, but
these are some of the big highlights that that I feel like that shift our little catering business into something that's more notarized. And I think it took us to another level, I think. Exposed us to a lot of different
mentors
and supporters and people like Misty Yang and Fong Yang and the Hmong community, to some of the the LACF, all the the board members.
Yes. Yeah. So fundraisers. The Lao Night Market was a really fun one. That was first.
That was huge. It was so successful that people had to wait hours in line just to get in. I mean, that's just to show that people really, really are looking for diversity in food. People are ready for it. People want to try new things. And we're here for it. So I said, don't shut us down, COVID.
So those are just some of the photos that we've done. Again, it's just from all different kinds of events: conferences, weddings, baby showers, luncheons.
What is that one Oh,
galas.
galas, baby shower. Oh, that's the other one. That's the AAP was the Japanese
Mhm.
the one right now.
Yeah, the seminars, the Lao night market. Okay, so our first phase, again, we can touch back up on that. It's just figuring out where, like, what is Ginkin? Where do we stand? What is our focal? What is our focal point? What is our goal?
And I think that goes out for any business that's trying to start out. You need to figure out who you are, what your specialty is, what your niche is, because you can't be good at everything.
Right.
And you can't try to please everybody.
And when it's too, if it's too vague and it's too broad, it's difficult. You can't please everyone. Like,
and we tried at the beginning, but we also, that was a learning process where, okay, this is our clientele, this is what we do, and it just makes more sense for everybody. And also it'll save you a lot of headache.
Yeah, so just like for us, our goal is to just share Lao food with everybody, and starting with our Lao beef jerky first. And so some of the strategies that we did for our beef jerky is basically just showing people, okay, how is Lao beef jerky different from other jerky? What is it? What makes it so special? And it's that it's flash after it goes through the dehydration process. You flash fry it, and you can eat it as a snack, or you can eat it as a meal. And
just like most beef jerky, once it's flash fried or once it's dehydrated, it's travel safe. It's we've shown it. Well, part of the marketing is to show how do you enjoy beef jerky. Like, it means, like, we have images of kids enjoying it. We have, you take it on hikes. Perfect for camping trips because you don't need to be refrigerated. What else would you say?
Oh, I take it on camping trips all the time. I really do. It's just easy.
I take it on hikes.
It's the perfect road trip snack.
Yes,
like
yes.
I feel like it's just great for everything because it holds so well.
Yeah.
And but we wanted to showcase like why it's different from every.
And that was the other thing. Another thing is it's like a full-on meal. Like, for busy moms, busy dad, when you come home from work and your kids are hungry, what do? You don't have to cook a whole meal. Have the rice ready, flash fry it within, like, it's ready in a sizzle. Let's be honest, like really fast.
Yeah, like for example, my kids are super picky, and so this, like the scenes of on they can totally get on board with, and just have it really easy with some sticky rice.
And also for the non for kids, we also make things extra spicy and spicy, and that's
for the adults.
For the adults, actually, and actually a lot of teens like the spicy ones. So.
And so again, so to touch again, we hosted our own events initially. That was our first phase to kind of just like, hey, you guys, like, we're Ginkin, and we just invited people over to test our food and let them know like this is what we're going to be doing. And again, like we said, it started from my birthday, and it's just from there we felt like people were like, hey, well, we want you to do this for us. We want you to cater for us here and there, and it's just starting with our own people first. Our closest
and honestly, I recommend doing that because, trust me, the first few mistakes, the first few events, there's going to be a lot of learning
learning process.
And it's more forgiving when it's friends and family. And let's be honest, our first 5 was, in hindsight now, it's like it was not anywhere near where we're at now.
and your closest friends or families are not afraid to tell you and give you constructive criticism and feedback because they want to see you succeed and they want you to be better. And so again, start off with your closest friends and families. They will tell you the truth, and they will give you feedback on how you can be better on the next event. So you don't want to just dive in first and not have that practice.
Right. Because once your name goes out and once people because the words get out really fast. And thank God, we've had really good reviews from our clients. I don't think we have anything that stuck out that was bad. So we're very appreciative of that. But like I said, it takes a lot of practice. Practice on your family. Like Tracy said. Practice on your family. Practice on your family and friends.
Yeah. And then from there, the referrals just start coming in. Honestly, the best referrals come from your friends and family from there. And then once you start building that tight-knit clientele, they will start to refer you to other people. And Because it's food, because it's catering, I feel like a majority of it is from referrals.
Right.
Because you don't want to just hire a random caterer. You have no idea who this person is or what, like how their food tastes. Like you want to know, well, is their food good? Like for example, at a restaurant, if I don't just go in and dive into a restaurant. I need to look up the Yelp reviews and see, right? And then it's yeah, like it's the same concept. Like you don't want to just go in blindly. And so referrals is a huge thing, and you need feedback, like almost like a measuring system to show like how well are you doing in your food and your reviews. Like the reviews are just the best way to measure your success. Our challenges.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to start it? Or you?
Oh my God, yeah. So COVID-19. Oh my God. I think not just catering, but just for everyone. Everyone. It just hit us blindly where we felt like
we were booked
oh my
literally
goodness.
months like in advance, and everything got canceled. We were just getting
we were just like just starting to get to this like high point, and then
it was devastating. But at the same time, I think that we took a step back and reevaluated ourselves. And also it allowed us to actually focus on our jerky, on our website, on our other business side, but also to like really narrow down to what is it that we want to do? Where do we want to take this? And also, you know, with every challenge comes this idea of like, okay, well, how do I prepare for the next step? And that's what we did. We basically had to fine tune ourselves.
We had to take a step back and focus on basically the business aspect. Okay, what are our goals? What are our next strategies? And so we decided that we need to take a shift and just beef jerky. People are going crazy. People are afraid to go to the grocery stores right now.
Right. We were. This is when the prices of beef also went up.
Yeah,
you couldn't find beef anywhere. It was
the stores limited you one per household, and it was just like it was very, very difficult. But we would call every store. We tried. We did our best when we managed, but we took a shift and just started focusing on our jerky sales because it's easy and it's delicious, and people are not having to wait in these long lines at their grocery stores, or a lot of people were afraid to even go grocery shopping at that point. And so our beef jerky sales went up while our catering services went down or canceled. They had to cancel or reschedule, but our jerky sales did climb at that level.
But I think with any challenge, like it's just a matter of being prepared, having different alternatives in your plans, being okay that you have to take a step back, being able to understand that there will be challenges.
Right. And then I think a lot of our clients, they did reschedule with us, but we also had to
downsize.
Downsize. We did.
And modify venues. And you have to be able to be open to all those alternatives.
Yeah.
Be open to those changes.
We basically sympathize because, for example, we had, oh my goodness, I think 4 weddings that had to cancel, reschedule.
Yeah.
And you just have to really sympathize. I guess it's hard on us, but can you imagine the bride and groom? They've been waiting for this special day. And as long as we had to learn how to be very
accommodating.
Yes, very accommodating to her. So she's just like, we can only do this, we can only do that. We need gloves, we need the mask and sanitize. And it was a really tough one, but we did it, and we were all around. Everyone was just extremely, extremely happy with the outcome. I believe that even the bride and the groom was just like, they were actually very happy that they downsized a little bit because it allowed them to, it was very intimate, very intimate. And so that was a lot of fun. So just really just having to adapt, you guys. I understand that COVID really did hinder a lot of people, but if you just know how to adapt. So another things that we did dinner boxes. Yeah. We did.
So let's just put it this way. Some things didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like we tried doing special meals concept and trays, which honestly, I mean, in with our limitation as far as kitchen space and delivery, like we have drivers
and finding food,
to even buy.
Yeah.
Those were all things to stay afloat.
Right.
So it's, at don't know. I think what we're trying to say is like, you're gonna try different things. Some things are not gonna work out. Certainly that didn't work out for us. Some events we barely even broke even, which is embarrassing for a business. But it shows that, like, we were trying, and like I said, it's okay to try. It's okay. Some things are not gonna succeed.
But we broke through, and we're out, and we've been really busy again.
Yeah. So
getting booked here and there, and so we're excited.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Stay positive.
So another challenge is finding like the right resources for packaging, for licensing. It's been hectic because the state of California has been backed up, and so we've been just trying to find that right. So I believe like Fresno State Small Business, like I utilize them if you guys can, because we didn't know this.
We know about this.
We didn't know about this, and I wish that we did, because it would have sped things up a whole lot quicker.
Yeah.
But like as far as like
so that's another advice. It's like reach out for resources. There's a lot of people who wants to help.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of finding it, I guess, and making that connection. And honestly, like I
at one point we got the runaround, and we went to this department and then this department, and they were telling each other like, no, you got to go to this department.
They were each telling us to go to this way.
Yes.
And we're like, so
right. So definitely utilize Brian and Richie if you guys have any questions, because I'm just listening to you guys. I'm like, man, I wish we had them a couple years ago. But finding the right resources for sure. Challenge is staying true to your roots, but elevating it to the next level. So Inoy and I, we are constantly experimenting and elevating Lao food, because for the longest time people were like, God, Lao food looks ugly, like it doesn't look good. It smells good, but that looks
not even smells. Our food smells has some crazy funkiness. And people are intimidated by that. It's just kind of like, ooh, what's that? Like, not ooh, it's like, oh,
right.
What's that?
So we want to stay true to like its basic foundations, but want to make it appealing to the.
And I'm sorry, but the thing is also with that, you have to understand, once you know your clients, once you also, our menu is so huge in a pendulum, where it's like there's super authentic food, and there's like food that's basically anyone will like, honestly. So you also, part of knowing your clientele is also knowing your menu, knowing what you offer. And that's a huge importance, because we have clientele that wants super authentic Lao food. And at the same time, they want to mix that with like a charcuterie board. So it gets a little bit like, and that's where I think our niche comes in, our grazing table comes in, where, you're not just getting cheese and crackers, which is great, for a certain party, but you're also getting lamb, which is a really authentic Lao dish, or like chicken wings that we do, or ribs, or you get the meaty and gritty, or even our vegetarian stuff that has Lao flavors, that's so richly bold in there, are Lao. But the point is, like, that's part of knowing who you are, knowing your distinction between other catering business, whatever business you're in. Just know who you are. Yeah.
So we were like, wait, are we still doing the Southeast Asian food, Lao food? Like sometimes we forget because we want to make other things. But
because we love cooking,
right?
And we love food.
We love all kinds of food.
Yeah.
Finding the right employees, we found that not everybody can keep pace with catering, because it's so fast paced, very fast paced. You have to think and it's quick on your feet.
And it's not like it is like a restaurant, but it's not, because every event's different.
Right.
Sometimes it's an outdoor event where you have to find the sink.
Right.
Sometimes it's in a wedding hall where the sink's hidden behind the restroom. Like whatever. The setup is always different. So you have finding a team that's
right. So I think finding a team that can do both, like be our sous chef and assist us, and also be able to.
And we're very thankful for our team.
Yeah, be able to cater at the same time, be able to cater some food, and not just that, but like make sure that this plate of food is appealing.
Then you can take our stamp and kind of duplicate it with, obviously we still have to go in and do the finishing touches and what have you, because we're hands-on. We're both very hands-on like that. But just to have someone who actually understands the foundation of how we do things, I think it goes back into not just hiring the right people, but training properly.
Yeah.
And that's where I think as we are growing, we're also learning that that's both of our, we both can teach different things.
Right.
And that's
we,
why
we play on each other's strengths and a lot. Shifting strategies and adaptability. I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what we talked about with COVID. And sometimes you'll have something that will happen that might not just be COVID, but it's something else that can happen. You have to be able to adapt to that and find something that works on your strength. How can you, what can I come out of this? What can I produce out of this, like this challenge that I'm going through right now?
right.
Yeah. Okay, next slide. So our key takeaways: turning your passion into reality. Again, this is something that we both love to enjoy doing. We both love cooking and sharing it with everybody and throwing dinner parties.
And trust me, at the beginning, it's super hard. It's super, hard's not the word. The reason why we say you have to have a passion is because it's long hours. It's sometimes it's 15 hours days. You take 3 hours sleep, and then in the morning you got to be at the site. So you gotta love it, honestly. Like it's not something where I think the beautiful part is making it look so effortless when you see the end product.
Yeah.
But let's put it this way, and
it takes weeks
to prepare. Starting from the proposal. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, starting from our proposals that we create for our clients, and for them to approve that proposal, for us to define that they have a specific theme. Like one was a baby shower, and it was like an animal jungle baby shower. We had to go find those decor for her, and so there's steps involved in that. A lot of prepping and planning. A partnership.
I'm the lucky one in this partnership. Tracy does most of the human resource things, the hard stuff, and I get to do all the fun stuff. I get to experiment with dishes. I get to creative artistic stuff, while Tracy does the paperwork. So I mean, I'm super thankful, but I think that's probably one of the most important things. I think, if not
just balancing out and playing
as far as starting a business, unless you're gonna do it on your own, finding a partner.
It's really tough to do it on your own.
Yeah,
I've tried doing a couple of ventures on my own, and it's hard to do it by yourself without.
Because we all have strengths and weaknesses, and it goes back to you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses, and you gotta kind of have someone who can balance off those things, can actually pick up where you may be a little bit weak on, I guess. Is that a good word?
Not as good. Focusing on your niche again. You don't want such a broad audience. You want just a specific group of people that you're looking for, because if it's too broad, then you won't sell. What is your purpose?
Our purpose, honestly, it's like we mentioned before, it's
why do you want to open your business? What is your purpose for doing so?
For us, is one of the biggest things is leaving a legacy. As far as there is a Lao food movement going on, and we've always felt that we've been doing it since college. To be honest, inviting friends, and since high school, honestly, we're inviting friends over, from different ethnicity to come eat, and most people, it's crazy how so many people have yet to try Lao food. You go ask out there, have you tried Lao food? Ask that question. People have tried Chinese food, Vietnamese food, Thai food. Ask them if they've tried Lao food. And honestly, most of them have, and they wouldn't even know it. But that's where I feel our huge sense of purpose comes in, is not only to here, try our Lao food, but also let them know it is Lao, and be proud of it, and say, you know what, we're proud of our food, and everyone should try it.
With every challenge comes new opportunity. And so again,
I think that's more of a question of preparing. You can preparing as much as possible. Having the foundation, and that's going to be the most important thing to overcome your challenges.
Don't give up. That's just because something might appear like you failed at, but it's really just a learning opportunity for you to be better, to get better at it.
Because not everything's gonna work out, and it's okay, and you just gotta learn from it and move on.
And then, all right, guys, we're opening up for now for questions, and we'll be happy to answer them for you guys.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so there's one question. Will you both ever consider opening up a cafe or a restaurant?
So we get this question asked a lot. You guys don't want to open up a restaurant?
Okay, well, this is the thing. There's perks and there's
we both come from the restaurant industry, so we both worked at restaurants as like a sous chef or a server.
or a bartender.
Yeah, a bartender. I actually did a little bit of bartending too.
So we both done it.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love restaurant industry, but I feel like this is more of something that we are more passionate about. They're for different reasons.
Right.
What's yours? Go ahead.
So for me, I still have little kids at home, and when you own a restaurant, it becomes your complete life. Like you are there every day from morning till night. And I feel like with the catering business, most of our catering events are on the weekends. So that allows me to, I get to prep a little bit here and there throughout the week. And then like, that's when we full just take over on the weekends. And so I don't like having the idea of having like a brick and mortar store for us to be tied to all the time. Like, I love that we get to go venture out and see different venues and different, dinner home, like having those dinner parties. And that's what I personally enjoy.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I would also probably say the thing that it's, honestly, having a location has its perks, and
yes,
definitely, and it makes things a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
There's a routineness that makes life a little bit easier. But maybe that's what we're drawn to. We're drawn to a little bit of the excitement of
what is it called? Like, it's a nice chaos. What is it called?
Organized chaos.
Oh yeah, it's like an organized, pleasant chaos that I just absolutely love.
Yeah. But I also feel like with catering, because every event is different, we get to expose more of our creativity. And
I think we really, really like decor.
Yeah.
Like we love artistry and decor, and so we get to do that. I feel like with the restaurant, I mean, yes, you can make a plate of food beautiful, but I love that we get to create like grazing structures for people.
Yeah. And every event's different. So it allows us both to think outside the box every time we're there. It's like, okay, well, what are we doing this event that's going to be distinctly a little bit different?
Right.
Based on the budget.
Right.
So we have a couple more questions. So one attendee asked, would love to see your products at the farmers markets. Are there any specific farmers markets you're considering?
I'm sorry, what was that? Cindy?
Yeah. Would love to see your products in the farmers markets. Are there specific farmers markets you're considering?
Hi, Cindy. Thanks for the question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So the farmers market, the main one that we are looking at is the River Parks Farmers Market, and we're just waiting for our licensings to get through for us to be able to actually to sell them. We have our seller's permit, we have our catering license, we have all that, but we do eventually want to be able to sell at the River Parks Farmers Market.
And that goes back to like.
I don't know if that answered your question.
Well, that she want to know what location the Soyeji did.
Oh, okay.
But I think that goes back to the idea of like opening up a business. Like there's so many different licenses. Make sure you get all your license, get all your ducks in a row, because you don't want to get shut down before you even open. Because I've heard stories of that.
So that's the main one, and I know that
there's others. There's the one on Shaw, the Blackstone one. There's
So yeah, it just depends on the day.
There's a Clovis
We
one.
definitely want to take advantage of as much as we can.
Because we honestly feel strongly that once people try it, they're like, okay, like we get it.
Right. I feel like that's where we're gonna start to really expand.
Yeah. And then the last question comes from Anasan. Do you recommend consulting with a business consultant or advisor before starting a new business?
I'm sorry to hear.
Do you recommend consulting with a business consultant or advisor before starting a new business?
Depends.
What's Emily we're supposed to, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we kind of did. We we met with like a lawyer, a tax advisor, just ask tons of questions. It's not always the case. You don't always need to see a business consult, but if you're very serious, I do recommend seeing one. They just give you more information that you don't realize that you need to know, because it's like like initially when we started, we were like really excited. We just see the big picture, right? Just like, oh my God, kin food or jerky, blah, blah, blah. And then like you get into the nitty gritty of everything you need to do and the process. Yeah.
Get your insurance.
And then you're just like, oh, wow. Like, you know, it's just like, you just don't realize everything that goes into opening a business. And so that's why business consultations are there. I mean, the consults are there to help you with this and guide you, because again, you don't want to get shut down before you're going to get started.
Yeah.
Let's see. One person writes, not a question, but a comment, a food truck would be amazing someday.
We go back and forth.
We go back and forth on it. Yeah. I've always loved, I've been wanting a food truck since forever. And I understand it's a huge trend, and I applaud to all those that are doing it, because this is a great time with COVID. It's, you know, this is whoever has already been established. This is your time, shine.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
we realized that, because we thought long about this, and we've decided that no, then we're going to be doing too much. Yeah. Like that would be like we would be taking on too much. We wanted to focus on just getting our jerky out there to the world, like, and you know, start a manufacturing process and start shipping it, and
not just our jerky. We're also talking future sauces.
Yes,
stuff that you can take home and just, you know, eat with your jerky.
Our end goal is to have kin a staple on the grocery store shelves, like as a staple, like our bags of jerky, our sauces. Our dressings, and we realized, wait, that's our main goal. Like we don't want to have a food truck that, again, to be tied down to something.
Yeah, and I think catering for us is also a beautiful way to like introduce Lao food, but also at the end of the day, like to reach a bigger audience. For us, our vision, as Tracy was saying, is to be a name that's recognizable and a product that's recognizable in your local food store. Like you can go to Vons or Costco or wherever and say, oh, you can get jerky, you know, and get that with my milk or whatever, you know? Yeah. And my sticky rice, like
milk,
whatever, I don't know. Your almond milk and jerky.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyways, that's our vision. That's our end goal. You know, end goals, it sounds wrong. Well, that's one of our big goals.
Well, kind of a follow-up to Anna's question, but she meant insurance advisor for the question, not just an advisor, but insurance advisor.
Yeah, we do have an insurance advisor that we talk to. Definitely, it's just we can't be experts on everything, and as much as you try to research it and just Google it, it's not the same. Yeah, it's just not like
they went to college and school for years for that. Yeah, you're not gonna learn that on Google.
Right.
So don't be cheap. Hire people that, you know what I mean, like
utilize your professionals that are willing to help you.
Yes.
Amazon's a great insurance agent.
Cal Valley.
Yeah, she's great. She tells she's helped us with a couple of things before. Yeah. Because especially for big wedding events, you need insurance in the event that something were to happen.
Yeah.
And so like you have to book insurance for that day. So you just constantly need somebody.
Liability in food industry is huge. Mm-hmm. Like people can easily get sick or mishap happens. So you definitely want to be covered.
Right.
I mean, you definitely want to, first of all, avoid those things by being extra cautious, but things happen and it happens, and you want to be covered.
Right. Something as like forgetting a bone, like a chicken bone, or the temperature is wrong by one degree.
Yeah.
And, you know, it makes a big difference, and it's a difference between someone getting sick or not.
And that's the difference between getting a professional caterer and some random person.
You guys ready for the live demo?
We are, and it looks like there's no questions, but if there are any questions, we encourage all of our guests to chime in down below.
Absolutely, while we're still here. And don't feel free to reach out to us as well, even if you think of a question afterwards and the webinar is over. Just direct message us, email us, We'll be happy to answer your questions. So what do you want to start on the scenes of fun first?
We can.
All right. So
all right, guys. So this is our Sin Savan, one of our biggest seller. Teamwork. Okay, so here, I'll do this. Wait, what's the camera?
oh, right here.
Oh, where am I going with this?
Yeah.
Oh, where? It's right here. So this is our Sin Savan. It's already dehydrated, seasoned, marinated, all those good things, right? So just like regular jerky, you could just eat it like this if you wanted to. But this is where the magic happens with loud jerky. Not just the seasoning, but so the temperature right here, we're on medium high. Quick check.
Oh,
Maybe not a little.
So there's a little trick that you can do to know if your oil is ready. Yeah, turn mine on. Is by sticking like a wooden like chopstick or like a wooden like the end of a wood handle.
Mm-hmm. I think it should be fine.
Okay. And when you do that, you should see like little bubbles.
I feel it.
Okay. You should see little. You'll start to see like little bubbles just kind of dancing around the wood, and I can see it.
Yeah,
there he goes. Yeah. Okay.
So honestly, when I say dinner can be ready in a sizzle, I'm not lying. So there we go.
So this is our Sin Savan.
See that sizzle?
They're thinly sliced
Flip.
beef jerky, and it's marinated in an array of spices and ginger. It has ginger notes and sesame seeds. And so you just kind of let it sit and sizzle, right?
Let it sizzle, yeah. Oh.
There you go. And then you just kind of put it on a plate with a napkin to kind of absorb all that excess oil. Do you see it?
Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, here.
How do I? Oh, here we go. There.
You got it?
Oh, we're big now. Sorry, there we are.
We're big now. Come on, big time over here. Can you see that little sizzle?
Yeah.
Zoom in. Got it? Do a quick flip. Maybe one more just for fun. All right, we're good, y'all.
So that's our beef jerky. And again, we just kind of let it, the paper towels do all the work of absorbing the excess oil.
And then just quick serve here. We're ready. So usually what we do is we enjoy it with
Rice, jail,
and some gel, some hot sauce.
So that's our tomato gel maklen. It's like a tomato chutney.
Yeah, like a tomato salsa chutney, whatever country you're from, it differs.
Yeah.
So it's a little jerky.
You eat it with the rice, sticky rice or steamed rice. There you go.
All right. You want to do the?
Sure. Okay.
Should I just go here?
So
don't mind.
That's our specialty beef jerky. So now we're gonna do nam khao, you guys. So I had pre-made some nam khao balls, and what it is, it's just steamed rice, and the oil's really hot. Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah, and so the rice is made of.
Is it there? I go.
It's made out of curry, like red curry. There's coconut flakes in there, a lot of seasoning, so like fish sauce and garlic and shallots. And what you do is, once the oil's ready and hot, you dip the balls in there, and this is gonna take about
I wouldn't say a ball. It's more of a croquette.
Like disc.
Yeah, like a disc. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people make balls. We prefer disc because we like more of the
crunchy
the
space.
Crispy. Yeah, the crunchy, crispy texture ratio to like the regular steamed like rice ratio. And so this is gonna go in here for about 5 minutes, and it's going to become, starts to be, just really hard and crispy on the outside and brown. And so we have some prepared already, just to show you guys that's already done. Things over here.
Yeah, I can bring this over here, and then we can just move this out.
So I'm going to show you guys how to mix it once it's all deep fried and ready to go, and it's cooled down. So it's very important that the rice cools down, because if it doesn't cool down, the steam will get all the steam will cause the rice to become soggy. And so this rice I had pre-fried it earlier, and it's now cooled down and it's still crispy. You can probably hear it. Hear the crispiness. And so what you do is you break down the balls, right like this, into the mixing bowl. And then you kind of add everything to it. Oh. So, yeah. So we have here, you're blocking the camera.
Oh, my bad.
So here's the balls that I broke down, and it's all crispy, ready to go. I have here some pork skin that you add to it.
Wait, where's the camera again?
On this side.
On this side, okay.
And then we have, this is called somo, which is basically essentially a fermented pork, and it has cured meat. So we add this
with
to
pork
it.
skin. It's also known as Nam from Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Then I like to add the peanuts to the side for those that might have a peanut. Oh, whoops! I just dropped that. And then we have our garnishing. So this is green onion and cilantro that we add to here. And then you add some lime juice to kind of balance everything out. And then you mix it. Mix it all up in there.
And did you mention this is one of our biggest sellers?
This is our most popular
for catering.
Everyone always asks for it. And then we just kind of serve it in a bowl. Add a little bit of some more, add some peppers on top to make it pretty.
And how is this eaten, Tracy?
So this is normally eaten as a lettuce wrap. So what you do is you just take a piece of like either romaine lettuce here, or you have iceberg lettuce, depending on the kind of lettuce that you prefer.
Or cabbage.
And what you do is you grab the spoon and just like that, you add this to your lettuce, and then you can put cilantro on here if you want, some mint.
I like mine with mint.
Some mint in here, some Vietnamese mint, and then you just
perfect bite right there.
And then just eat it.
That's it.
I think that was delicious, you guys.
I wish you guys were here to eat with us.
Yeah, I don't know about everybody in this room, but yeah, I'm kind of savoring right now.
Come over.
That's what it looks like, you guys.
Oh, that's the name how it turned.
All right, so we have a few questions. So
over it.
All right. So for a small food-based business, do you work out of a home kitchen or community kitchen?
So we do both. For big catering events, we are really big ones. So the ones where it's like 400 people, 4,000 people, we work out of a commercial kitchen. For the smaller ones, we do work out of home, and you do have to have a specific permit for that. I want to call it like the cottage.
The cottage.
Yeah, a couple other ones too, but usually there are some things that we're allowed to do at home, and there's some things that we have to make out of a commercial kitchen.
And then another follow-up question, what are the pros and cons of each that you've discovered?
I'm sorry, what?
What are the pros and cons of each that you've discovered?
The pros and cons of what? I'm sorry.
Pros and cons of each that you discovered. in working with small food-based businesses or advocates.
Oh, okay. Like the pros and cons of each thing of working like in a small business.
In a small business or in general, I wouldn't like.
So wholesale, just because it doesn't, sometimes we can't buy everything in bulk. So like restaurants, like they buy things in bulk and they get things shipped to them or delivered to them, and they're able to buy things in bulk because they're serving to the masses of people that come in every day and each week. And so, that's a con of not like having a restaurant and having to be a small business owner is finding things more locally. So like our meats, our vegetables and everything, we don't get things delivered to us. We have to go out there and hand pick everything ourselves. But that takes a lot of work. But that also comes with its own.
Well, it also
touches of us. That's a pro for us as well.
And that's the thing. It's like taking the con and making it a pro. Like one of the biggest pro, I guess, of having, like you said, a small business is that we have more contact with everything that comes through.
Mm-hmm.
It's more personalized.
It's more personalized.
Everything's.
But there's also the con of like, what if the store doesn't have it, or when there's
actually a huge pro. I think that when people tell me like, I know I open a restaurant, we're ready for you to open a restaurant. I'm like, do you know how much a restaurant costs to rent per month? And the insurance and the bills that comes along with it, like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like for me, like if I ever really do want to open a restaurant, or do we ever want to open a restaurant, it would definitely this is a great way to practice, I guess, if anything. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, like we both mentioned, we have been both in the restaurant industry. A total of us together is probably 40 years, because we worked in so many different kind of restaurants, and we feel like for us, I mean, this works best because, like, we're able to shift and change our creative process as it goes. But that's a huge, I think that's a huge pro. Another pro is, of course, rent. We don't have to pay that $10,000 rent for a restaurant.
Yeah, so the only expense that we have that's similar to rent is probably renting out the commercial kitchen,
which adds up, and but at the same time,
but it's only as needed.
As needed,
right?
Yeah. So we're not paying. Let's say like a restaurant, if they had like during COVID, they had like no clientele, they still have to pay rent. They still have to pay insurance. It's and then luckily, like that's not our case. That wasn't our case. Yes, we were struggling, but we weren't going in the hole for it.
Right.
So that's a pro, I guess.
Right.
Sad to say, but yeah.
What's another pro?
One of our biggest con.
We're working so hard to have a catering van. To put a catering van, like we needed to go and buy a big, so that that's an expense that we're just kind of saving up for.
Yeah.
It's like not having a catering van to transport all of our items. We have big items. You've seen if you guys go on our page, you'll see our props. And we're putting in my car, and I was putting in someone else's car, and we're having to take a couple cars to transport everything. So that's a con, is that's a big expense, is having, because if you're at a restaurant, you don't need a catering.
But at the same time, I think that's what makes our business so special, is that like we're going to you, we're taking all these products, this imagination to you, like we're taking the artistry to you, wherever event that may be, wherever your event may be. So whatever.
Yeah.
You guys have any other questions, or?
Let's see. At the moment, there's none at the moment.
Okay, we'd like to give you guys our information. If you guys have any other questions, where to contact us. Yeah, it's on the slide. So we wanted to share with you guys today that we finished our website.
You guys are the first to know about this.
You guys are the first to know about this. So we're so excited that we wanted to share it with you guys, and you guys are the first ones to know. He's going to the PowerPoint slide.
Oh.
So
it only took us like what, almost like,
oh my goodness, a while. Again, hire the professionals.
But also, you guys, that's another thing that I think we forgot to touch on. Is like, if you're really thinking about starting a catering business, you don't have to have everything all at once. You just start little by little. Like
we started off with social media, and we were still able to grow from that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't need to have a big old van to start a catering business. You don't need to have, even with the jerky business, you don't need to have the latest technology. Well, we do now, but
Yeah.
let's put it this way: we started off with a rinky dinky dehydrator, and now
we have like a commercial grade one.
2 commercial grade ones, which we're super proud of the steps we came. But like to start anything, a catering business or whatever it is that you're passionate about.
And the thing is, we didn't have a lot of money to start off with.
Yeah,
we were still able to make this happen. We didn't. Yeah. Like,
we started on a beer budget.
Yeah.
With a champagne dream.
Yeah. So it doesn't take a lot of money to start. It's just now we're just.
But you have to hustle and be very passionate and be tireless and fearless in what you do. And you really gotta, like, it goes back to, like, you really gotta know yourself. Like, you really gotta know what you bring to the table and what you're weak at, and find something else that's good.
It's very, very, very important to know your numbers and the book. And the books are so important because you want to be able to be profitable. You need to know your competitors out there, and when I say competitor, it doesn't mean like, oh my god, you're in constant competition. It's just more like you need to know what the price points are for your food. So that helps. So, but yeah, shopping around, looking at prices, getting to know your numbers and memorizing it. It's so helpful so that you can just have a good profitability, good margins. And so this is our information. Our Facebook, again, is just Skinkin Food. Instagram and our website. Definitely check out our website. We're super proud of it. Our beef jerky orders because again, we're still waiting on the state of California to give us approval. It's just a long process right now because of COVID, so everything's backed up. But if you can't place orders on our website just yet, but you are able to just reach out to us and let us know if you want to try a sample, and we can definitely make that happen for you. So just email us if you need to, or direct message us through our Instagram or Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And let's check and see if we have any last minute questions. Okay, it looks like we don't have any questions at the moment, but thank you, Anoy and Tracy, for this wonderful presentation. And
thank you guys for having us.
Absolutely.
This was fun.
It really was fun and totally delicious. Alrighty, and we will have a recap of this presentation available soon, so be sure to check your inboxes and spam folders. And if you did not receive anything from us, please feel free to shoot us an email. And we wish everyone out there a happy and safe weekend, and please enjoy the rest of your Fridays, and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys.